Welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. This is episode 4. And where we left off, we fought big old frenzied boy. We met Balara the Veilguard, the Veil Jumper, who is going to be part of our team. And we got this thingy out of this, that crystal thingy, that is an archive spirit. Now we just need to talk to Balara to end up going back to the Veil Jumper camp and kind of get set up there. Uh, in the last episode, we did get introduced to our ultimate ability, which is Flashing Fists, where I pretty much just do an area of attack that does a crazy amount of damage, apparently. And if you go to companions here, so I skipped this part um, just so that we can explain at the beginning of this episode, but this is Balara's little thing, so we can go through each of them. She does have some skill points here. So she is a veil jumper who's a mage. Okay, they can apply weakened and detonate sunder. Okay, she is currently a level 2 relationship. You can go up to 10, and yeah. So she did get a new weapon out of this. If we are to compare it, attack my target gets apply shocked. So this is something I kind of want to explain. So when we press tab and we tell them to attack someone, that's what this is. So you need to make sure you're constantly doing that in this game. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless to have these type of abilities. But we are going to put Storm on. Attack by target deals plus 50% barrier damage, which will be helpful early on. And let's get into her skills. So she has 5 skills. Okay, so she has Enfeebled Shot, which is currently not attached, but that applies a weakened and deals high stagger. We have Time Slow, which we already know what that does. We have Galvanized Tear, which creates a control tier in the veil, constraining an enemy but sparing allies. Draws enemies towards a point on the battlefield and deals damage to those pulled close. That's a pretty cool one. We have Replenish, Veilguard Jumper, never knows what to do. So yeah, so this is the healing. And then we have the Detonate Thunder one, and it applies shock and hit. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to make sure we get... You can take this one off and put in Galvanized Tear. Okay? So we are going to do Galvanized Tear. And the reason why I'm putting my powers into this one, we get the cooldown duration, which is fine, but then the stagger. Because I'm playing a warrior and I'm running around with a big old axe in my hand, I think it'd be kind of nice if they're all in the one spot, so that way I can get multiple hits off of them. But yeah, so let's go to Harding. So Harding, this is Harding. She is an Inquisition agent, potion slinging scout, whose arrows shock and shred. And she's a rogue, so she's cunning adaptive. They can apply Sunder and detonate overwhelming, or offer support with enhanced damage or regeneration. Yeah, so she has to get to level 2 in order to do that. And that's when you get skill points. So when you get their relationship up, they get more skill points up to 10. So you can specialize in 3 different things all the way through. And then we have Nev. So Nev is a Shadow Dragon. So time-slowing Frost Mage who investigates secrets, who is also a mage. So she does the weaken and then that needs the sunder. And yeah, that's really all I got to tell you there. So we're going to go back to the camp here, continue the story. And I think at the end of this episode, we'll do a little bit more codex entries until we're all caught up. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into it.
Ready to go?
I sure am. Let's go.
Right. Let's get moving.
Come on. I'll show you the way to the Veil Jumper camp.
7 wounded, 16 on bed rest, and some of our most experienced fighters are still missing.
We're running out of veil jumpers. Whatever's going on out there, it's scary.
Jahel and Milva never reported back from Demeter's crossing.
There are 100 people living in that village, or near enough. You're back, and you're alive. Good.
Sounds like things have gotten a lot worse since we left.
Darkspawn. They're showing up all over Arlethan, attacking anyone in their path.
We've evacuated 3 daily settlements already.
We ran into Darkspawn too, near the Nodus Dirthalin.
Wait, you found the Nardus Dirthalin? The archive spirit? We could ask it about the gods. Figure out their next move.
Too bad it's broken.
If it weren't broken, maybe. But we're not getting anything out of it anytime soon.
Meanwhile, veil jumpers are disappearing. Something out there took them.
I know. But maybe, if we find them...
We find the gods. Or at least some sign of where they might be.
But Arlethan Forest is huge. Where do we even begin to look for them?
Demeter's crossing.
What?
Irlin and Strife. When we came in, you said you'd lost contact with Demeter's crossing. We could go check it out. The 3 of us, I mean.
You mean 4? You're not leaving me behind.
You were just wounded. We can...
You'll have to tie me up to keep me here.
I don't know what you're going to find there, Rook. Likely nothing good. But you'd be saving people, and it might get you on the trail of the gods.
Demeter's crossing's on the far side of the lake. There's a small boat at the docks. It'll take you there. Watch your back out there. And good luck.
Alright, quest complete. The team's help, Valar disabled the artifact and freed them from the Veil Bubble. She also uncovered an ancient repository of elven knowledge, the Nodus Dirthalin. While Valar intends to unlock its secret, she has joined the team as they search for the escaped 11 gods.
Okay, we'll need a boat to get there. Let's head to the dock.
We aren't prepared.
Alright, so little thing to know about these
What's here
factions.
about Demeter's crossing? Veil jumpers have gone missing. Do we know why? Someone will have to go out there and find out.
That's us. They'll have a merchant for each one that's dedicated.
Lot of weird things lurking in the forest. I got the goods to kill most all of them.
And they'll have these shop ranks. Okay, so you can get up to 4. If you do missions and stuff in each of the areas for the faction, this will grow, which will make it easier to get more stuff. As you can see, we don't have much money. What I do recommend, though, is looking at this. So you see there where it says the value. It's one thing I learned after I played through the majority of the game is sometimes these, like see this snow carving has a 15, so you want to sell that one to them. Because those are good, right? So the Veil Crystal, you can sell that. You can sell that. So I wouldn't sell, like it's so easy to just press sell all. Right? I mean, we will for this just because. But later on in the game, it's actually going to matter because sometimes you'll be maxed in some stuff. So you're going to want to save some of the stuff to go to a different faction, which you will see once we play through the game. There's also these, whatever this is. It'll explain that later. And then your coins. So we are going to sell all just because I want the money. And then when you buy stuff, that also improves it. So as you can see, we have this axe that we've been using, and now we can get plus 15 damage for health. So we're gonna get that. Yeah, it's gonna cost us a little bit there, but what I recommend doing is saving your money So save your money. So save your money. I bought that one, but as you see, we're already up at 270 now. So selling stuff and buying stuff gets this up. Which is just this, right? Your strength level.
And now,
But little
come on,
thing to keep in
do
mind.
your best not to die, yeah?
And this is the Village Reppers camp. I see Codex. So we're going to read the ones that we pick up. I've decided on that. And then we'll read the ones that we haven't picked up at the end of the episode. So scouting report, operations, expedition scouting report, Village Repper, Cadia reporting. I was in the northernmost stretch of Arlton Forest, trying to find a way into the Genelus ruin. Genelus ruin. We recently discovered an old journal that claimed a lost Hala keeper found a room full of relics inside of Genelus. Down in the labyrinth, the entrance was blocked by rubble. As I was getting ready to wedge myself through a gap, an apparition appeared in front of it. It seemed to be blocking my way. Whatever it wasn't solid, so I think I could have passed through it, but it seemed to be waving its arms. It felt like a warning that I shouldn't enter the ruins. I didn't argue, and I turned and ran. What are you doing? Ah, so cool. So cool. Okay, so we could change our team up, and we are going to. I don't know, we can't. Can't yet. Oh, so they blocked that off, eh? Interesting. Okay, let's get her going.
Sounds like a lot happened here.
What hasn't happened? This area is where Tevinter Magisters destroyed Arlathan City centuries ago. Whole lot of blood magic during the war.
And now?
Whatever Solus did stirred up everything again. The old blood magic from the war, it never went away. Ancient relics appear out of thin air, ruins float. It's like an old wound that never healed, and now it's bleeding again.
There will be things in the world that'll let you, do stuff like this. And those are key because they get you stuff. Alright. Probably gonna want this for something. Maybe this.
That was the capital city, Arlathan. This is what's left of it after the war.
I don't imagine it floated back in the day.
Fishies! Alright, we can leave that there. We won't need it for anything else. It's over here. Another codex. Another codex. A lament of fallen Elfhanen. From a Veiled Repper's letter. I hear tall watchtowers once stood where these waters emptied into the sky, the torches lit to guide the weary traveler sometimes on still days. When the mists hang low on the river, I can imagine the lighted path up to the golden spire of Arlthan, and the voices of my people calling me home. I know Elvanen, our lost civilization, is not how I imagined it. Arlthan was a place of wonder and magic, and also of conflict and war, ruled by tyrants. Yet, still I mourn it, and wish that I could have seen it just once, and called it mine. I've blown a different handwriting. These feelings not yours alone. There's no sin in grieving what was lost, imperfect though it was, strife. Just and a little fast travel. Shortcut. Shortcut is key. Make easy to move. Alright. What's going on over here, boys? Let's make sure.
You ready to go?
Sure. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it.
Harding, you sure you're up for this?
I'm fine. I need to get back in the fight.
Then let's go.
I like the little detail that since I'm a dwarf, I don't wear shoes. I like that little detail. That's a pretty cool little detail.
I've never seen fog this thick in Demetta's Crossing. This isn't right. The dock usually has people bringing goods to market, bartering and shouting. It's always busy.
Something happened here.
Stay sharp.
It's so quiet.
Too quiet.
Where is everybody?
Good, man. I'm gonna make some noise. I'm gonna guess that they're dead. But what do I know? I'm the only one destroying the shit. Don't mind me, I'm just breaking all your things. What's going on over here? At least some of the stuff has stuff in it. Alright.
It's market day. People should be out selling eggs and buying bread. But everything's just...
I hate to break it to you, but they're
They
not.
barricaded the main entrance into town.
There's Blight in there. I can feel it. Be careful.
Oh. There's Blight. Oh shit.
It's Blight. It's worse than in the forest.
Must keep
You okay? What happened here?
them inside. Listen to the mayor.
Hello?
I don't think he can hear us.
I don't think he cares either.
Everyone has to stay. No, you can't leave.
Hey, can you hear me?
Just stay here, and everything will be fine.
Someone used powerful magic to dominate the minds of these villagers.
The town square!
We need to search for survivors.
Let's see what we can find. Fan out.
This is Adeline. I knew her. She was a farmer, sold spices to us, the best in Arlathan. I can't believe this happened.
A tattered note. Just forget it. The mayor's not worth arguing with. He'll take gold from the town coffers for a new fountain in the square outside his front window, but good lumber to fix the docks that everyone uses. That's too far expensive. Adeline.
Is that an Aravel on the roof?
The Blight must have lifted it up there.
This blight is weird.
Ever seen anything like it?
Never. Blight's usually dead, static, but this is alive.
Okay, let's keep going. Might be more survivors.
What was that?
Something big. Stay sharp.
Over there. 2 more survivors.
Hey, what's going on here?
Find the veil jumpers. Bring them to the mayor.
They're talking about Jahel and Milva.
They said bring them to the mayor. If we find the mayor, then maybe we'll find your friends.
Why were they looking for veil jumpers? What did the mayor want with them?
Oops. Whoopsie daisy, Misa fell.
Look, more people.
Must round up everyone.
Must get inside.
Milva!
That's one of your fellow veil jumpers?
Not anymore.
Valara!
Jahel! He's alive!
Valara!
We're going to help you. We'll get you down, Jahel.
No, listen. The gods have returned. I saw them. I heard their voices.
The gods did this?
A blood ritual to release the Blight. The villagers, they said they needed power. Valara, be careful.
Someone needs help. Veil Jumper orders. Jahel, to be safe, let's make sure Tamata's crossing's alright, and that none of the villagers have spotted anything. Take Milva, she's new. This will help ease her in and build confidence as a scout. Well, she fucking died, so, oops.
Come on, that sounds close.
It does, but also, what's over here? Anything over here? No, it's this big old circle. Big old circle!
Help me! Hurry!
That's a dragon.
A dragon? Here?
No! 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 Please! Hey!
Fresh blood, a hungry heart. Creature, come to me.
I know you. You're the mayor of this town.
The village. The people. Are they,
Blighted. Dead. All of them.
You gave them to the gods, didn't you? Didn't you?
They were in my head. Infecting my thoughts. They made me do it. Please, help me. You betrayed your own town. No, I didn't. I was tricked. Manipulated. I tried to protect people. You have to believe me. The gods told me to lure the Veil Jumpers to the center of town. The others were to be rounded up and kept safe. They would be the first to witness the glory of Gilnenane's new creation. She showed me gold. So much gold. All this for gold. The villagers, the Veil Jumpers, the Blights everywhere. Demeter's Crossing is dead because of your greed. I didn't know. You don't understand what it was like to hear those voices.
The gods exploited his greed and fear.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for him? I say we leave him right here.
But I'll die. The Blights everywhere. What if the dragon comes back?
If we let you go, you'll run straight back to the gods.
They were in his head. Their influence might linger.
I understand what they do now. I won't attempt it again, I swear.
Rook, you're a Grey Warden. You could pack him off to Weishaupt as punishment.
Ooh. Let's send him to the Grey Wardens.
We'll send him to the Wardens. No! I'll never survive that. We take anyone. Even murderous traitors like you.
It's more than you deserve.
You don't understand. I felt their power. It's irresistible. You're going to spend the rest of your life fighting Darkspawn. That's not enough to redeem you, but it's a start. But be grateful I'm even giving you this chance. The Fade had opened, and the gods were free. Thanks to Solus, they'd woken up to find their empire, their subjects, even their fellow gods, all gone. But they still had the power of the Blight, and corrupting a village was just the start. They made plans to tap more of the Blight, all of it, to rebuild their empire. As a path to power, it had its costs. And everyone would pay for it.
Ooh, shit. Alright, we have unlocked fast travel. Alright, we're gonna do some Codex entries. And then we'll end the episode here. It feels like a good way to end it. Elven people. The Elven Armory. We found another one of those strange elven buildings, the ones with the rings spinning around them. This one was unique, though, because it wasn't half melted. Not sure what kind of magic you'd need to melt stone like that. Not sure that's a question I have ever actually wanted to know the answer to. There we go. I don't know why this one survived, mostly intact, when the others suffered so much damage, but the alluvium inside was smashed. Maybe that was it. All that empty armor was pretty spooky, too. Kept expecting to jump off the wall at me from Blur's journal. Alright. We've already read that one. Wait, why? Interesting. The Grey Wardens. The Blight had ravaged the land for months. The armies of the great kings amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn with the archdemon at its head. It was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth ever between men and the enraged darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead and the last darksman lay trampled in the dirt. Then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for the sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds rolled back and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, that none of their blood had been spilled. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. An adaptation of a Grey Ward legend. The tale outlined above is widely told, although subject to regional variations. Free martyrs might substitute great kings for titles bestowed in their given city-state. In Ferelden, the implied army of wardens is sometimes replaced with two, representative of the national heroes who fought and defeated the archdemon at Denrim during the Fifth Blight. The beating of wings is a reference to the griffins the wardens are said to have ridden into battle. Although griffins went extinct long before the recent blight, they still appear in numerous stories, sometimes serving as a metaphor for the warden's unrestrained courage, but also employed to please an eager audience. From Tales of the Warden by Sister Manon. Majestic Bastards. I remember the second last one. I wouldn't get closer than 60 feet, double the wingspan. That left you time to move. The beast was too weak to do much. Still, seemed respectable to keep the distance and leave its end to animal and trainer. She starved out, not the way they should go, and not the way I was used to seeing them. Oh, they were majestic bastards, and they knew it. Asking Warner dumped arse over ears for not picking nits. See, trainer and beast had a kinship, and both knew what they wanted. For Griffin, that bond meant grooming. Couldn't fault them. They needed what they needed. I mean, what's fair trade for saddling a warden commander, full plate, lightning storm, sheer dive straight through an archdemon's wing. Legend you can't argue, but back on the ground, they knew they were owed, and you couldn't shortcut and dose them. They had all the majesty of a padding rat if you waterlogged the feathers. No, it was a grueling task of preening 30 bloody feet of wing, and you'd better remember, or maybe the thing got pissed next flight and cut an oak too close. Give you a love tap so hard your next helm dented. Still, everything in balance, every talon dipped. There was nothing that compared. You could reach down from the sky and cradle face in your hand. Anyway, yes, I remember the second last one. After she dropped, the robes took some crosscuts because they do things like that. And when we burned it, and then I got drunk. And I remember the very last, and you can't make me. Comments of an unnamed Grey Warden. Excerpt from recent records on the extinction of a treasured species liberated to public consideration by Philip Abard. The Imperial Chantry. There are those who would tell you that the chantry is the same everywhere as it is here, that the divine in Valroyal reigns supreme in the eyes of the Maker, and that the fact is unquestioned throughout Thetis. Do not believe it. The Maker's second commandment, magic must serve man, not rule over him, never held the same meaning within the ancient Venter Imperium as it did elsewhere. The Chantry there interpreted the rule as meaning that mages should never control the minds of other men, and otherwise their magic should benefit the ruler of men as much as possible. When the clerics of Treventer altered the chant of Blight to reflect the interpretation of the commandment, the Divine in Valroy ordered the clerics to revert to the original chant. They refused, claiming corruption within Valroy, an argument that they grew until, in 387 Towers, the Chantry in Treventer elected its own legitimate and uncorrupted divine, Valhall, who was not only male, but also happened to be one of the most prominent members of the Treventer Circle of the Magi. This black divine was reviled outside to venter his existence and offense to the Chantry in Val Royeaux. After 4 exalted marches to assault these rebels, all that the Chantry in Val Royeaux blushed was to cement the separation. While most aspects of the Imperial Chantry's teaching are the same, prohibitions against magic have been weakened, and male priests have become more prevalent. The Circle of the Magi today rules Deventer directly ever since Archon Norman was elected in 734 Storm. Directly from the ranks of the enchanters, to great applause from the public, he dispensed with the old rules forbidding mages from taking part in politics, and within an age, the true rulers within the various imperial houses, the mages, took their places openly within the government. The imperial divine is now always drawn from the ranks of the first enchanters, and operates as divine and grand enchanters both. This is utterly hearsay to any member of the Chantry outside of Deventer, a return to the days of the Magisters, which brought the Blight down upon us, but it exists, and even though we have left the Treventer Imperium to the mercies of the dread Qunari, still they have endured. Further confrontation between the Black Divine and our so-called White Divine is inevitable. The Edicts of the Black Divine by Father David of Quinaris, 811, blessed. Lyrium. Lyrium is the king of metals. Beneath our feet it sings, when properly refined. It is a smooth, slightly iridescent, silvery liquid. In the hands of the dwarven smith cast, it is mixed with steel to produce indestructible armor and blades that hold an edge for centuries. In the hands of the shapewright, it becomes a repository for living memories. And some scholars maintain this as evidence that lyrium it itself alive. It finds it most lucrative its application in the hands of the Fomori, who use it in conjunction with baser metals like gold, silverite, veridium, or even iron to produce enchantments. Though mages, of course, consume it in a diluted form to bolster their abilities, this is not recommended. Overindulgence in lyrium can have disastrous consequences, particularly in more concentrated amounts. It is not advisable, for instance, that any reader handle raw lyrium, which in many cases can kill on contact. Excerpt from an alchemical primer of Metallurgy, Volume 1 by Lord Shurist of Marinus Pell. That's a fucking mouthful, isn't it? The Magisterium. There's a mistaken impression outside the Tavern that a magister is simply a mage, and that mere act of being a mage is all that is required to be among the ruling class. A misperception aided, no doubt, by some Tavern mages claiming that title outside their homeland to take advantage of its reputation. In truth, being a magister requires one hold, a seat in the magisterium, the upper house of the imperial senate. This is the body that makes laws, and which chooses the new archon if there is no approved heir. The senate's lower house, the publicinium, consists of elected officials, but also has no true power and considered upper bureaucratic body. Magisters, meanwhile, come from the ranks of the Circle of Magi and the Imperial Chantry, but also hold their seats by virtue of an Archon having granted it to their family long ago. It is not technically required for a Magister to be a mage. Indeed, after the transfiguration that saw the old gods abandon the Andrastrianism embraced, most were not. Since the Tower Age, however, non-mages in the Magisterium have slowly been weeded out. A true Magister is thus a figure of real power and Treventer. All other mages serve at their pleasure, and any mage not of proper lineage has no influence outside of that which personal wealth and talent provide. From the ancient north by Sister Petrine, Chantry scholar. The Maker, there was no word for heaven on or for earth, for sea or sky. All that exists was silent. Then the voice of the Maker rang out, the first word, and his word became all that might be. Dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. And from it made his firstborn. And he said to them, In my image I forge you. To you I give dominion for all that exists. By your will make all things be done. Then in the center of heaven he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waited to see the wonders the children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne and sang hymns of praise unending. But their songs were the songs of the songs of the cobblestones. They shone with a golden light, reflected from the Maker's throne. They held forth the banners. They flew on their own. And the voice of the Maker shook the fade, saying, "In my image I have wrought. My firstborn, you have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever changing." And he knew he had wrought amiss. So the Maker turned from his firstborn and took from the fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart from the spirits, and spoke to it, saying, "Here I decree opposition in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. By my will alone is balance sundered, and the world given new life." And no longer was it formless, ever changing, but held fast, immutable, with words for heaven and for earth, sea and sky. Alas, did the Maker from the living world make men, immutable and the substance of the earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, "To you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the fade I crafted you, and to the fade you shall return, each night in dreams, that you may always remember me." And then the Maker sealed the gates of the golden city, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. Verse 5:1-8. Navarra. The fourth time I attempted to cross the border into Navarra from Orleans, and was turned back by chivalries. I declared to take the more roundabout path, a ship back to Ferelden, and another to Navarra. The outcome was more than worth the trouble. The whole country is filled with artistry, from the statues of the heroes that litter the streets and even the meanest villages to the glittering golden college of Magi in Cumberland. Perhaps nowhere is more astonishing than the vast necropolis outside of Navarra city. Unlike most other followers of art, the Navarrians do not burn their dead. Instead, they carefully preserve their bodies and seal them in elaborate tombs. Some of the wealthiest Navarrians begin construction of their own tombs while quite young, and these become incredible palaces, complete with gardens, bathhouses, and ballrooms, early silent, kept only for the dead. Pursuing knowledge of travels of a chantry scholar by Brother Genetivi. The Orlegian Empire. There are many lords and ladies in Val Royal. I mean this literally. Once the system of noble titles in Orleans was a labyrinthine. There was a barons and baroness and baronets and sub-barons and a horde of others, each with its own origin and its own nuances of comparison. The religion arts historic ours whatever the fuck that is ancient and much given to competition. All the nobility play the grand game as it is known, whether they wish to or not. It is a game of reputation and patronage, which where moves are made with rumors and scandals is the chief weapon. No gentle game this. More blood has been drawn as a result of the grand game than any war the religions have fought. Of this I am assured by almost every gentleman here. As far as titles went, everything changed when the coming of Emperor Draken, who established the Orlesian Empire as it exists now, and who created the Chantry. There is no more venerated figures in Orlais. In Val Royal, the statue of Draken stands as tall as the statue of Andraste. Draken determined that the grand game was tearing Orlais apart, so he abolished all titles beside his own and lord and lady. I am told, with some twittering amusement, that this action did not end the grand game of Draken had intended. Now Lord and Lady collected unofficial titles rather than official ones, such as the exalted patron of Tassus Clay, or uncle to the champion of Tremis. It is a headache to remember such titles, and once wince to think of the poor doormen at the balls who must rattle them off as each guest enters the room. The Yep, that word is different from Ferelden in other ways as well. The Orlesians' right to rule stems directly from the Maker. There exists neither the concept of rule by merit nor the slightest notion of rebellion. If one is not noble, one aspires to be, or at the least aspires to be in the good graces of a noble, and is ever watching for a way to enter the patronage of those better placed in the grand games. And then there are the masks and the cosmetics. I have not seen so much paint since the kennels at High ever, but that is another story. From Beyond the Frostbacks by Banturok of West Hill, 920 Dragon. All right, and from that, we are going to call it for this episode. A little bit of a quicker one than the last one, but we did go through the crossing there and kind of learned about what we saw dragon. We saw fuck dragon, and we sent the mayor, who is a gold little fuck leprechaun, honestly, and we sent him to the Grey Wardens to Weissop to fight off Darkspawn if he survives the the fee to become a Grey Warden. Either way, I'm sure we'll see him at some point. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. Let me know you enjoyed it. Make sure you comment. Let me know how you feel about Dragon Age Veilguard. There's a lot of mixed feelings out there, more negative than they should be. But I enjoyed the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. Till next time. Peace.